everybody. Welcome to the video lecture shooting for the subject programming and problem solving. It's a second year computer engineering subject and has a theory of 100 marks. It has 6 units. Let us just go through unit 1's syllabus first. The unit 1 is introduction to problem solving and programming. It consists of general problem solving concepts like types of problems, then how to solve problems with computers, what are the difficulties faced by computers while solving problems, different steps involved in problem solving. Second aspect is how computers solve problems. Some concepts we will see like constants, variables, what are the different data types, what are functions. Basically all the basic building blocks needed to solve the problem with the help of a computer. Now whenever you are dealing with a computer, you must understand how to communicate with the computer. Communication with the computer is very important because the instruction set of a computer is very small and it is doing a lot of things altogether. That's why communication with the computer is also considered in this unit. And lastly we'll see what is a top-down approach. Let us start with the general problem solving concepts first. Before that, let us see, we are just talking about problem solving all the time. But what is a problem basically? A problem can be anything like what to have for the breakfast in the morning. It can be as small as that, or it can be as big as setting up a company, which company to set up, where to set up. So problem is basically nothing, it's a question. And then what is the solution? Solution is a series of steps which gives the answer to that particular question. Now we solve problems daily in day-to-day life without unknowingly we do solve problems. Now what is problems? People make decisions every day to solve their problems. Then problems may be unimportant as well, but a decision is necessary to be made. If a decision goes wrong, then a lot of resources are wasted, like time, energy is wasted. So whenever you are taking a decision, we need to consider all the aspects before moving ahead. Now in day-to-day activities, there are 6 problem solving steps which are defined. Let us go through these steps. The first step is identify the problem. Whenever you are dealing with problems, sometimes a problem is directly identified and given to you, but sometimes you need to identify the problem from from a group of things. Second is understanding the problem, what exactly you need to do. The third steps involves identifying the alternative ways to solve a problem. Whenever there is a problem, it is not straightforward that there is only one solution to it. There are multiple ways. You need to analyze those, find the best way out of it, and then move ahead. The fourth step is, like I said, selecting the best way to solve the problem from the list of alternatives. This is done by listing down the advantages and disadvantages of each step and moving ahead. Next is, whenever you finalize on a particular way, then you need to list down all the instructions related to it one by one, step by step. And last is, you need to evaluate where you are going, whatever solution you have got, is it right or not. Let us just go once again through the problem, that is identify the problem, understand the problem, identify the alternatives, select the best way out, list the instructions, and finally evaluate the solution. We'll discuss all these steps one by one in detail. In identifying problem, we need to know what is to be done. In classroom, the problem is already identified and given in some or the other form, like it is a question or it is a problem statement given to you. But in outside world, you need to identify the problem. Here, understand one thing, what is always more important than how. What happens usually is we don't concentrate on the what part of it, but the how part is concentrated more. And here where things go wrong, wherein we keep on solving the wrong problem. That's why more concentration should be there on what is to be done than how it is to be. Of course, how is important, no doubt, but what it has to be given more preference in identifying the problem. The next step is The next step is understanding the problem. Before that, let us go through this small joke which is usually circulated. It says, what the customer explained was, let us say, a swing with 3 seats, and how the project leader understood was something different. Then what the way the analyst designed it was something different. How the programmer wrote it was far away different than what was explained. How the business analyst explained it, of course it was in a very lavish way. Then how the project was documented, it is blank. This is a very patent problem related to um, project analysis phase, wherein projects are not documented in a very good way. There is no documentation related to projects. We'll see how documentation is important, but usually this happens that documentation is not given priority. Other things are given more priority than documentation, and whenever there is a problem later on in the project, people are not able to understand what the project was doing, where things are going wrong. It is only because the project is not documented. This is how the operations installed it, and of course how the customer was billed. He was billed heavily, and how the project was supported. It was not supported at all. And finally, when we see what the customer really wanted, he wanted something else and he was delivered something else. Now this is not necessarily a problem because of the project manager or the programmers. This can be a problem with the customer as well, because there is a communication gap, there is a technical knowledge gap which needs to be bridged by both the ends.